You asked for this video so much, I am extremely happy that I am finally filming it. Welcome to Makeup for the Four Seasons. Hi everyone and welcome back to Color Analysis Studio. I'm Giulia and as I said, today I'm going to talk to you about the makeup for the 4 seasons of color analysis. If you've ever felt, for example, that a lipstick doesn't work on you or it washes you out, well, your seasonal palette might be the missing link. The video is divided in 4 chapters, one for season, so let's start with spring. The spring palette is made of warm, intense and mostly light colors. Think about the colors that we notice in nature during the spring season. We think about these beautiful, lush, intense green fields full of colors of the flowers that start blooming in this season. Therefore, even for makeup, people who belong to the spring palette should choose colors that are warm, intense, and mostly light, not only but mostly. When it comes to foundation, remember that you have to match your skin color. It is common for people from the spring palette to have a golden peachy tones in their skin. In that case, a warmer foundation would be best for you. Other springs, on the other hand, might have a very rosy, almost cool appearance. In that case, you don't want to go too warm with your foundation, but you want to match the color of your skin. Some people might have dark skin and belong to the spring palette. In that case, you still, of course, want to choose a foundation that matches your skin color. When it comes to blush, rely on warm and intense colors, like peach, apricot and coral. This will enhance your natural glow and your radiant skin. When it comes to eyeshadow, we can really have fun experimenting with any color from the spring palette, the greens, the blues, the purples, the oranges and pinks. Some of the staple colors for eyeshadow from the spring palette though are champagne, copper and gold. So just a tip, when it comes to metals, don't think only about jewelry but also about makeup. Even lipsticks for the spring palette should be warm, intense and not too dark. Think about coral, scarlet or fire red. Springs can really pull off a bold, strong red lipstick. It looks fantastic on them. One tip for the spring palette, consider a glossy finish for your makeup. Everything that sparkles and that's quite bright is extremely suitable because of your high intensity. And now let's talk about makeup for autumn. Think about the colors of the autumn leaves, like golden browns and orangey reds. Many autumn people have a skin that has these golden components, so you can see a sort of warmth in their skin. People who have this characteristic work better with warmer foundations. Some autumns have darker skin colors, all the way to mahogany and dark chocolate or even coffee. So if your skin is rather dark, of course, you want to choose a color that looks as similar as possible to your skin color. However, some autumns can also have more of a pink or cooler brown skin, so in that case don't go too warm with the foundation. Remember, you need to match your skin color. Don't stress too much about cool or warm. For everything else though, blush, eyeshadow and lipsticks, you certainly want to follow color analysis. If you're autumn and you need a blush, I highly recommend salmon, soft peach and muted apricot, but also some darker shades like cinnamon and terracotta. For the eyeshadow, you can choose any color from the autumn palette. Some of the staple ones though are olive green, bronze and gold. So once again, remember that metals can also be used as colors for your eyeshadow and for your makeup in general. For your lipsticks, remember about spicy and dusty shades like paprika, cinnamon and even mahogany. A tip for autumns, since you have low intensity, consider a matte finish for your makeup. So nothing too sparkly or too intense, since you work better with colors that are rather delicate and muted. Let's move on to the left side of the graph and therefore to the cool season, starting with summer. The summer palette includes colors that are cool in undertone and are low in intensity. Also, the summer palette has mostly light colors. Again, not only, but mostly. Therefore, people who belong to this season share these characteristics. It's quite common for people who belong to the summer palette to have a rosy, cool appearance in their skin, but many summers can also appear a little yellow or beige, let's say, in their skin color. So when it comes to the foundation, you really want to choose a color that is as close as possible to your skin color. Some summers can also have a darker skin tone. Even in that case, the same applies. You want to choose a color for your foundation that looks as similar as possible to the color of your skin. Probably your skin won't look particularly golden, but if you have brown to black skin, those colors will look a sort of ashy and cooler in their tones. Colors that are perfect for blushes for summer are mauve, dusty pink, and cool rose. Think of a bit of a natural flush after a walk in nature, in the breeze, for example. For the eyeshadow, of course, you can use any color from the summer palette and it would work really well, but the staple ones would be lavender, mauve, and cool grays. Or silver, in other words. Remember that metals can be used also for your makeup, for your eyeshadow. When it comes to lipsticks, and you're a summer, you probably struggle finding a bold red lipstick for you. Well, that's because since your low intensity level, red is sort of a strong color. It's not exactly aligned with your palette. So summers are usually the profiles that struggle the most when looking for a bold red lipstick. Instead, try more delicate tones like dusty rose, cool pinks, soft berries, or even a light plum. If you really want to wear a bold, intense red, make sure that at least it's cool. Of course, if you're summer, you want to avoid anything that looks orange, because orange is a color that makes everything look quite warm and golden, and your undertone is cool. So you definitely want to stay away from anything that reminds you of orange. Think about those orangey pinks such as peach or apricot. Your pinks shouldn't remind you of orange at all. They should look very, very cool, very blue-based. And now let's move to the winter palette and let's have a look at the colors that suit this season best. The winter palette can be found in the top left area of the graph. Therefore, its colors are cool, highly intense, and mostly dark. People who belong to this season share these characteristics of coolness, intensity, and depth. Many winter people have a sort of cool, cold, blue-based appearance in their skin, if their skin is very light, but even if their skin is really, really dark. Other winters, though, don't have this cool, rosy or cool brown look. They actually look slightly warm, a little yellow, and sometimes even olive. As you can see, people from the winter palette can have so many different skin colors. The best recommendation that I can give you is that, of course, you don't want to go extremely warm, you're still blue-based, but you should use a color for your foundation that looks as similar as possible to the color of your skin. When it comes to blush, of course, you can rely on the berry tones. If you have lighter skin, you maybe want to go more towards strawberry or raspberry. If your skin is darker, go all the way to blackberry, but still with that violet, cool pink undertone. Consider also fuchsia or plum for your blush. When it comes to the eyeshadow, of course I recommend charcoal, so a very, very dark gray, but even violet, and of course silver. For your lipsticks, again, berry is your keyword. But you can also consider a strong, cool red or even burgundy. One tip for winters. You're the only ones who have black in their color palette. Make the most of it when it comes to makeup. Use black for your mascara, for your eyeliner, and for your eyeshadow. It suits you really, really well, and it looks elegant on you. Of course, guys, as you can understand, this video is extremely generic. Then each one of you should be able to tweak their color selection in order to find their best colors for them, even within their season. It's completely normal that not every single color from your season works on you in the exact same way. Of course, even within your season, you will find colors that work best than others. Plus, at this level, so once you know your palette, your taste and your personality, your style plays a crucial role. Maybe mustard is a color that works amazingly on you because you're an autumn, but maybe you just don't like the color and it's totally fine. In this video, we talked about colors for makeup for spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Do you have questions? Do you have anything to share with the rest of the community? We can really have a nice conversation down here, so feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to do my best to respond to the most popular questions. Guys, we're at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching until this point. If you're still watching, please subscribe to the channel. And also, if you want to discover your own colors, feel free to visit our website, coloranalysis.au. I'm going to see you very soon on this channel with more videos. Bye!